Hello everyone, welcome to a day in the life of an average Aboriginal. This is LostPhoenixWolf and welcome to my channel. Today is November 25th. It's a rainy day. It's going to be raining the next day. Probably going to rain the next day too. Today's not really that cold. It's only like 13 degrees, maybe 14 degrees out here. So I'm going to probably do a video soon. I'm thinking of something to do because it's, I was going to video this trailer being ripped apart. But anyway, stay tuned. There'll be more. Hello, LostPhoenixWolf here. Yeah, I am with my little cousin in the park. They picked me up early, so I wouldn't be able to do a video log on my dad's property. So she just set up the camera to go and play at the park. She didn't want to hold the camera. So lucky I brought my tripod to get this video log in. So yeah, she was going to do the videoing, and she was going to do a little bit, be on the camera for a little bit, and we're going to do different video clips throughout the park. But she just wants to go out and play, and she's over there by the water right now. She knows how to keep safe and stay out of the cold water, and to let me know if there's any kind of troubles. So what I was going to say is, when I was on my dad's property, I was going to talk about my life on the res when I lived there years ago. But over 20 years ago, I used to live with my dad. He's built his new house. It was built for a few years, and just started high school when he got his house built. I stayed a little bit at my grandparents' farm until the house was built, because it was a little crowded at my aunt and uncle's place. So after school, I usually like to go down to the creek and fish, because there wasn't really much to do. I never had this camera. I never had internet. I never had a cell phone. I had a car. For a little bit. I had different cars that they were just breaking down because they were used cars and needed some repairs, and we tried to get some fixing on them as much as we could. So anyway, after school I like to go down to the creek and fish, and at that time in my life, they used to always get at least a fish or two a day, sometimes 3 a day. But looking back today, there's no bites, there's hardly any fish. I haven't seen the little fish. I guess there's probably fish in the spring, but it's always so cold in the spring, so I don't fish around that time. But I tried throughout the summer and last summer, and no, there's no bites at all. It's like the fish are just about almost gone, or they can't get down that creek because of like rocks and down trees. So anyway, I was going to show you guys the marking that I did. My biggest fish, I got pike out of there. And I would say maybe about 1.5 foot long pike. It's still marked on the tree. I scratched it on the bark as much as I could, that even today you could see it. So I was going to show down that way. I mean, the weeds are kind of growing up. My dad tried to keep up with it the past few years, and the weeds have gotten so bad with the burdocks and other kind of weeds. So like I said, I was going to show you that little area down there where I used to fish, like how wide it is, and across that creek is usually sometimes a corn growing like every other year that I think. And I used to have a little boat to go across and walk around a little bit and take down some of the branches that would stretch out to across the creek or halfway across, so that if I throw my line out, it's not going to get caught in the tree. A lot of different trees that the wind catches your cast, and gets caught in the tree. There's nothing you can do but try to pull whatever was on the line out of the tree. Or sometimes you lose your bobber, your sinker, your hook, or even just the line itself on that tree. So I mean, even at that time, I didn't have a ladder to go up in that tree to get rid of that limb, or to try to get that stuff I lost. Even there's logs in the creek that your hook gets caught on, and there's like nothing you can do unless you're down in there and digging to get those logs out. And those logs are pretty heavy; they're really waterlogged. And it's got leeches, snapping turtle, suckers, and mud puppies. I think they call them the slimy fish. So there's different kinds of fish in there, and like I said, I used to go down the waters a little bit and fish a different spot right off the boat. And the only thing is that the boat may be small, but the creek is not really that wide too, and it's not really that deep. It was maybe 3 feet deep in the summertime, maybe even less than that, sometimes 2 feet deep. In the spring, it's up to a good 4 or 5 feet, at least that, because it overflows into the one down on the property down at the end there, right in that corner. And my dad sold some of the land to a family member, and they built their house down there. They did a little bit of flood wall. It helped a little bit. And they had to do a little bridge so that when they go from their property to the laneway, then they're not driving the water all the time. And in the summertime, you'll see the fish are swimming in the grass because of the overflow. It's kind of strange that don't really see that much fish in the summertime or get any bites. So I think there's too much downed trees in the corner for the fish to come through. So that was kind of life a little over 20 years ago. Just starting high school and then going through high school, and just my high school wasn't really anything interesting. It was a blur. I had my problems. I just ignored the people. Tried to keep some of my friends that I made close. Sometimes get a chance to go to their house and see how their lifestyle is. And what was I going to say now? And just how my dad fixed cars, fixing these cars here and there. And just always some minor stuff like muffler or a little transmission, ball joint, leaf springs, stuff like that. Just minor stuff. And I would get my practice out on the property. Sometimes I get my practice on the roads at certain times. I was just trying to get into to become an actual driver, but the day they came, that it was just before my 18th birthday, and the what do you call it? I can't remember what the name is now. The principal told us to come to the gymnasium. They're having like a meeting, emergency meeting or something like that. And I guess we had a guest speaker to talk about young drivers and stuff like that. Things are changing. That I thought I can get my temporary license done and then get up some practice up and done until I get my full license. But before that step, it changed that you had to have probationary licensing. And they said that might take 2 years. And I said, by the time I get my license, that might be 4 or 5 years. So I said, screw it. I just continued riding on my bike. I rode all over the reserve still. It wasn't really that bad. I mean, in one day I could ride the whole reserve if I wanted to. And when I left when I left the reserve to go to St. Catharines, I still rode the bike. Sometimes if I could go to the reserve for a visit, I would go for a ride, and family members get drunk, and then I got to drive their ass home. So I still have the knack of driving, but just the feeling of driving, I gotta get that back up, and get a little bit of practice in before trying to get my license. So You know, I think about time to get my license. I can't drive a bike for my whole life because my knees aren't really that good. My apartment I've been in for almost 9 years, and I've been up and down those stairs so much that both my knees collect now. And cold days like this, my knees are sore, my lower back sore, and I can't keep up with it. So I'm thinking about investing in a car one day, and get some practice up and start the licensing finally. And I still might be getting myself an electric scooter, like electric bikes, e-bikes. I might be getting one of those for maybe about 5 years from now. I'll probably get one. Just, if it's a nice day, I might take it out for a ride. I still probably, I still ride my bike around. I'll probably ride around probably for 5 more years, and the pain in my knees probably I can't take it anymore. So, other than that, like life on the res, even sometimes I used to do some hunting, rabbit and raccoons. Not really shot me a deer. There's not really many deers left in reserve. I haven't seen any bears. I know there's wolves and raccoons now, today, but it's been past 20 years. And, the amount of res dogs, there's a huge pack that was started. There was a small pack started when I left. Within 5 years or so, the pack got bigger. And then a little over 10 years, the pack even got even bigger. So even after 15 years, I think the pack got so big that they started, find a way to trap these dogs and get them in cages and chained up and stuff, and instead of them roaming free, because a pack of dogs in one area, and you are you're not like they don't know and those pack of dogs can probably attack you. So they've either killed off a bunch, or trapped them, or chained them up, got them homes. I don't really know all the details, but I know there's a lot less dogs. So anyway, what I was saying, I used to go hunting, and some rabbit trapping. I tried that, and that's kind of boring. Taking your time and hunt for your thing, for your prey, and usually, I eat what I hunt for. I eat it like the rabbit. I would eat rabbits. Not raccoon. I don't care for raccoon meat. But I could get a chance to sell the fur, or a lot of stuff is being used on the raccoon, like the claws and the fur, the teeth. Our culture uses just about every part of the animal if we could. So me traveling through the woods a little bit, and the end of my creek, that what I could see is that there's an old beaver dam, but I haven't seen beavers in years and years now. And I wonder if that dam got destroyed. I wonder if there'd be bigger water flow, maybe the fish will be able to go through. I'm not too sure what's after the beaver dam, but that's where I stopped, because I'm not too sure whose land's who, and I'm sitting in the woods and I'm getting my ass shot. Because today, people are, people get uptight around their land, or talk about land, or stuff like that. So, shortly after that, hunting and, a little bit of archery with the bow and arrow. I tried a little bit of compound bow that time. Now they got compressed compact bow or something like that. It's like 4 times the strength of a regular bow. I've tried that, and then after a while, I would trying to think of other things to do in the reserve. I've been to different parties, and I wasn't really a party person. I had a girlfriend, in high school, and then she ended up moving away. I had another girlfriend, people didn't really like this girl, they're making fun of her, and, I made that initiative to, friend that person. She turned out to be a good woman. Well, girl at the time, and then she became a good woman today. And we dated for a bit, and then, we had an aunt or an uncle come by, and sometimes she's babysitting, or if it's just us or her sister or something like that, the aunt and uncle would just be a jerk, and things. So I ended up letting that relationship go because I couldn't take the stress anymore. Before I did leave, I did have a girlfriend. I was going to powwows and stuff, and the outings with her. Went to a movie with her, and her sisters rejected me right from the beginning, and they still reject me today. That girl waited for me for about 10 years, and I left because of different choices. I needed to better my life. I needed a change in my life. I ended up leaving the reserve and moving with my cousin. And I lived with her for a bit until I decided to get my own apartment. I really wanted to get my first apartment just so bad that I had the feeling to have my own space and do what I want in my life. I was going to get an apartment even if it was beside the railroad tracks, rat infested, and mold on the walls. I was that close to getting an apartment, and it was cheap. It was cheap at the time. So me looking for work and me on being on welfare, it worked out. I would have got it, but it ended up being condemned before I could get my foot in that door. I can get rid of rats. That's easy. Mold on the walls is a little bit harder, and in time I could probably deal with the building vibrating because of the train. So I moved to the city with my city of St. Catharines to my cousins. I ended up leaving there. I ended up moving, trying to get an apartment. I ended up moving with a friend. And then after that, I ended up moving to a different apartment. Things didn't work out because of the super. I ended up moving to another friend. And some life change again. I ended up finding a girlfriend, moving in with her, and then things don't work out, and moving to my aunt's, and then finding a girlfriend and moving on to my aunt's, moving into another woman, with a woman, and the details from there is just, it's crappy. I met a woman, I thought she would be a good woman, but I don't know, it was a bad choice. I didn't listen to the signs. She became my wife, and we've been separated a way lot longer than we've known each other, and it's the biggest mistake of my life. I'm sad to say, I don't have my son with me. I wish I did, but because of her past, I don't have my son with me. Her past is really, really bad. So I'm not going to get into details on that, and I know my life went from there, and ended up moving back to my aunt's for a bit, and then I thought I would help out a friend, and was moving with a friend. We went to one place, and then we moved to the location where I'm at now. I've been here for 9 years. She got her butt kicked out for maybe a year and a half to 2 years because she just went loony and crazy. This woman, and then shortly after that's when my cousin was living with me. He was working the casino in the States, and he kind of lost that job, or left it, or whatever. I'm not sure those details, but he started going on. I don't know what it is, the money thing. If you're between jobs, he was doing that just for a little bit, and then he went back to the other casino, the casino in Canada. So, he's lived with me since that time. And, life is passing me by pretty quick. And, I've been trying hard to better my life. And, I'm getting older now, and I'm just trying to do what I can in my life. I got to a point in my life, like, it was getting so bad that I didn't really care anymore. I was giving up. But some family members, more friends, have picked me up out of that hole, and you know, things are picking up. Some things could be better, but things are picking up. So anyway, back to life on the res. The past 5 years I've been visiting a lot more to my dad's, my uncle and stuff like that, and there's not really many aunts and uncles left because a lot of them are dying off, and different cousins that I knew or didn't know of are passing away. So so I'm not too sure what else to say here. Being in back of my dad's property is, it's much quieter. I don't have to listen to a lot of cars, yelling kids, people bugging me. It's much quieter there. It's much more peaceful. The res life, has its ups and downs. Its ups is it's quiet. Downs is, there's no vehicle on my dad's property right now, so can't get around. The other up is, you got a lot of different resources outside the reserve, like where I live right now. There's theaters, there's the mall, there's the variety store right close by. There's a grocery store, there's fast foods, there's all you can eat, there's dollar store, ice cream store, mechanic place, the park. There's probably things I can't think of right now, but it's it's a lot more convenient than living in a reserve because you don't have a lot of those that is close by. And give me a minute here. Got a spider in my lens. Baby spider, and it's fucking freezing out. And I got a chipmunk, I got a squirrel yelling at me right now in a tree. Probably because the dog went by. There's dogs in the park too. So anyway, the res life has its ups and downs and things. Life has its ups and downs. I like the way my life's going right now. It's getting out of my apartment now, and seeing other family members, other family members I didn't know about, and I like my time away from that city. I like the time with my dad. Kind of get kind of boring sometimes, and I like coming to this park. It's quiet, except for that squirrel over there. I don't know if you guys can hear it. And then you got some geese over there. Usually they're more noisier than that. It's not cold enough for them to fly south, I guess. So yeah, like I said, life has its ups and downs. So I think like it's still early yet. Oh yeah, talking about going to the a parade. I'm not too sure if it's Christmas parade or Santa Claus parade or festival or like winter festival parade. I'm not too sure what it is, but there's a parade coming up soon. My little cousin's been calling me every day, twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, trying to make sure that I'm coming. She wants me to come earlier, a day earlier, and then I told her that I'll get there when I can get there. And her mom, came and got me sooner because she got tired of her daughter, calling me and telling me, "Can you go pick up cousin? Can you go pick up cousin? Can you go pick up cousin?" So I got picked up early. I got picked up earlier than I thought. I had a couple things to do on the reserve, but it's cool. I can get the video log in. So today's not too cold. It's a little bit warmer. It's usually a lot colder than this. It's like kind of like a haze out, you know, some clouds. I don't know. There's not really much I can say right now. All I can say is that I hope you guys do like this video. Please do hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to me. Please tell your family and friends. And and when I get a chance, I will upload this video to you viewers and check out my comments. I'm probably going to do a lot of video logging before, you know, I get back home, and then upload them all. It might take a little bit of time, you know. I got some stuff to do at the end of the month, first of the month, the usual, you know. But you know, I'm happy to you know, pick up on the videos a little bit and explain a little more things in my life. Trying to make it a little more interesting. I know I say that every video, but you know, none of this is scripted. None of this is, you know, a big story I've been telling every day. It's a story. It's small stories every day out of my life, but you know, it's not a big interesting story that I can think of. But like I said, you know, I hope you guys do like the video, and I hope you guys do like the squirrel squawking at me in the tree nearby. You guys probably could hear right now. So I'm not too sure what are the plans. You know, I hear like another cousin's going to be visiting. Maybe I might get a video log in that if that person doesn't mind. You know, hanging out with my little cousin. Probably get some park time in soon. Let's see now, what was I going to say? Oh, just hang out with my little cousin. Probably play a board game with her. She's got Snake and Ladders and Candyland. I'm not too sure about Monopoly. She has that. That'll be good. I'll give that a try. Other than that, I'm too sure. This is all I gotta say right now. So, well, the squirrel stopped squawking at me, and the spider is still on the lens. Well, it's on the outside of the lens. Just baby spider. There was a bigger spider over there, and it was floating this way. If it got on the table, I was gonna give it a flick. If I squash it, then it's gonna rain, and then I probably won't be out here in the rain. So that is it for now. That's all I gotta say, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.